from Fukuoka Prefecture, Japan. How are you guys doing? I'm gonna push you away. ah, anyway, I woke up kind of like not early, but earlier than usual, but still, I don't know why I ended up at the same time as always. I was editing some gaming video just to like a kill montage because I was not feeling well for the past few days, and that's when I play games a lot. But anyway, how are y'all? How are you? How are you? Today's newspaper is kind of boring. This is so disorienting. What do you mean? Hi, hello, thanks for coming. Ta-da! You don't see Trump senpai, but it's actually, it says right here, Trump. 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 Tariff on cars. April 2nd. Not April Fool. He did comment on April Fool, right? Like, yeah. He wanted to do it, the tariff on cars. He wanted to do it on April 1st, but because it's April Fool, you know, he decided to do it on the 2nd. So that's interesting. But yeah, I have to comment on that. Hi, hello, good morning from Sweden. Oh my gosh, hello. It's so early. Is it? Yeah. So, yeah. Lately, I've been noticing that there are some people watching this later, like not live, but later. So, if you can, give me super thanks. if so, this is brought to you for free. And if you are watching for free, if you give me super chat, I'll prioritize your comment. And if you know, for those who are watching, like there's a thing called super thanks. So I'll be thankful. Anyway, so yeah, this, I have to say, I have the Japanese perspective would be that we are concerned, right? I love Trump, right? I've been a long time supporter of Trump, and I'm really thankful when it comes to. I want to go lower. I am thankful when it comes to the fight against CCP China, but of course, Trump-led America is, even though America is Japan's like a strong ally, still like it's another country, and there can be some like conflicts, right? Like over trying to make sure that that each country has like can protect national interests, right? And this is what did it say? I was gonna read somewhere. Like it talked about Japan. Yeah, like was I reading it inside? Oh, here. I mean, it's good for you. Good for America. You guys are winning. But as for Japan, we have to be careful because, I mean, but I want to say though to Trump senpai that don't weaken Japan by any case. Like, of course, like we have to fix the, you know, your deficits with Japan and so on, but still, like if you like, Japan is going through such a economic crisis right now. Like Japanese people, unless they're like officials, you know, like most people, even though the like good companies are like raising the wage and so on, but we've been in recession for the past 3 decades or so, and then we have like our prices are up, and so it's just hard to live. Like it's been hard to live, but it's even harder after the war broke out in Ukraine. So yeah. This is Yomiuri Shimbun, the biggest newspaper in Japan. Japanese economy, like nationwide, affected, might get affected. And it's talking about Trump's tariff. And you see here, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? It's a ranking of like our export, right? So it talks about like automobile parts and other machinery things. But our export to the US, so automobile and the parts occupy the 1/3 of the entire export to the US, if I'm reading it correctly. I'm not an economic person, so I'm sorry if I'm wrong, but that's what I see. So 7,000 okuen. I looked it up earlier. Like with Trump's tariff, we might get affected worth of 700 billion yen. So wait, what? Converts to roughly 4.61 billion dollars. We might get affected. So yeah, because like Mitsubishi, for example, like the company Mitsubishi, they have like a complete factory in the US, but like Honda, for example, yeah, Honda's might get affected like that much. So that's something that we are worried about. And so our government is asking Trump not to try to, go easy on us. Yeah. But to look at it differently, though, personally, like, that's the only thing, basically, that we are concerned about, I guess. Like, I mean, the thing about Ukraine and Russia relations is something that, like, not conservatives, but like generally speaking, like Japanese community, like Japanese people in general, and also like official, like top officials of Japan and so on, they are concerned about how Trump is doing politics. Just like the criticism that rises from the left side in the US, we hear something similar to that. But as for like even Japanese conservatives too, that I think, we are afraid that Trump is like, I can understand his approaches, like how he negotiates with Russia and so on, and like gets on the same page as them, so they can have a conversation together to make good deals for America, and I get that, but at the same time, it's like a little crossing lines too much. So we're concerned. But anyway, hello Yoko, hello. Watch your live, yay! Ahoy, beautiful people. Your audio is cutting out. Really? Is it okay? Huh? Why? Oh no, you guys fell. I don't know why. This is USB. Is it better? Oh, sorry. Good? Good. あたらなんですか? What do you mean? Hey everyone, hello. So your tweet to join. Hello from Phoenix, Arizona. Yay! Do you guys still have the psychic woman in Arizona? The medium woman? I used to watch Medium. Let's see. Yeah, I mean this is you guys. I gotta treat you nice, you know. Yeah. Yeah, I dropped you all. But yeah, so I I haven't been following the news well because I again I was not feeling well, but this is talking about the United Nations Ukraine demanding their territories, like to keep their territories, I guess. UN, they they agreed to the resolution in the UN, at the UN, I mean. So, so dozens of countries are joining in this movement in the UN. And even though illegally, I mean legally, it doesn't bind anything, but if it's what's the word? Like when it passes, then it sends a strong message to the international society. And in the resolution, they are like they will urge like Russia to immediately withdraw and to protect Ukraine's territories, and that the gain of territories by force will not be recognized as legal and so on. And what's interesting is that this is like Japan, of course, is on the side of those countries at the UN, you know. Even though we love Trump and we have a strong alliance, still like Japan is we think like European countries, I guess, kind of, if you know what I mean. Because Trump is thinking about Ukraine, Russia war as something to deal. Like they are leading it, right? Like Trump is leading. By the way, so regarding that, this is a front page, right? This basically talking about Japan and South Korea having a like 60-year mark or something. Yeah, 60-year anniversary of our like a healthy relationship, you know. And then you see Vance here. Vance in your face. And Zelensky. So, yeah, Vance made a speech, right? Like somewhere, and it's getting criticized so much. And it's like I'm in a difficult position because I can understand where America is coming from, but at the same time, there are some concerns. Because, I mean, you guys probably don't like Zelensky, but like, as for Japan, we need to fight Russia because the war has already broken out and it has lasted for almost 3 years now. Like it's gonna be 3 years on the 24th this month. And like as I told you before, like Japan has territorial issues. Like it's not even an issue, you know, but like Russia is illegally occupying our territories in the north, and so they're our enemy. And we were backing Ukraine, but so like Zelensky doesn't want Trump and Putin to just decide by themselves, and the I don't know, like looking at it from another country at least, we have the impression that like, you know, like Trump is gonna just decide everything, you know, with Putin, and for that, like Trump is going closer to Putin to have a conversation. it's great, I guess, that Trump is really a nice person, and like he can talk to anybody, right? Like even like to me Putin is like a terrorist, but to be honest, but even to him or Kim Jong-un, like Trump knows how to talk to them, and that's amazing because Democrats, for example, like they despise those leaders and they can't for like they can't have a conversation, right? Because they dehumanize those leaders. But Trump is different. But then it's good, you know, like so if I evaluate Trump's ability, but at the same time, like you shouldn't lose the balance, you know, like you shouldn't go too close to Putin. So that's something that I'm a little worried about lately. What do you guys think? Hello, everyone from California. Oh, is it warm in California? It's still cold here, and that's why like my body is confused. Hello from Mexico. Hola. Good greetings from Boston, USA. USA. Hello. Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I used to have a friend in Pittsburgh. Like, she was Japanese, married to some American. She was my chat buddy. Hello from Hawaii. Yeah. Aloha. Trump is the real emperor of Japan. Every Japanese bows to the orange overall. Sometimes Trump's face is so orange. Like, does he wear a makeup? Like, for the press or something? Because sometimes, like, most of the times he just looks natural, but other times, like, super orangey. Very orange. But yeah. Man, so this is Yomiuri Shimbun, and do you guys know Francis Fukuyama? Is he famous in your country too? Francis Fukuyama, American political philosopher. And according to my husband, he's a leftist, but I'm afraid that this is a column on Japanese newspaper, very influential newspaper, and his column I read it, but now like my Japanese self is kind of siding with them, so that's bad. When I think about Japan, U.S., like I don't know, like our relation with Trump, like it puts me in a very difficult position. But even on Sankei Shimbun, like Sankei Shimbun in Japan is very very conservative leaning, you know. Lately, though, there are more people quitting for the cost problem. Like they're not selling well. Like the whole industry, you know, like the newspaper in general, people don't buy as many as we used to. So all companies are kind of like, you know, having a decline, but Sankei Shimbun especially, we are the minority. Like Japan is generally conservative, like culturally, and even politically because of social media platforms. I think that people are more leaning towards the right side, but still like those who read actually read the news, and those who even pick Sankei Shimbun, the like you guys have Fox News, you know, something like that, a little even more conservative, I think. And Sankei Shimbun, even they had a column, so it's not them. Like they don't, it doesn't represent them, but this contributor wrote an article on Sankei Shimbun, and it was published online. And the column was in the column, the guy was calling Trump a bully, basically. Like that looks so familiar from like years ago. You know how Trump used to get like a bully and fascist, racist, and all that kind of jazz. I read that again, and he was using the example of Doraemon. Have you seen Doraemon, the blue robot anime? And in the animation, there's this character named Giant, like Giant. So he's a bully, you know, always picking on the main character Nobita. And so basically the example was that the bully giant was Trump, is Trump, and Nobita is Japan, the main character who needs help, But Japan doesn't have Doraemon, the robot that gives you everything, all the tools. So I'm like, what am I reading? Like it's supposed to be a conservative leaning newspaper, and they had that. Like they thought that it would be a good idea to publish that on their platform. So that is something that's such an interesting move by them. And Yomiuri Shimbun too here, Francis Fukuyama is saying that. Sorry for my throat. So I'm gonna just read it. Like last November, during the election, like it was argued whether Trump is a fascist or not, and the fascism definition of fascism isn't clear. And this guy Francis Fukuyama thought back then that it would be a little too exaggerated to think of Trump as Hitler, but now maybe he's not a fascist, but he is an authoritarianist, this column says. So basically talking about how Trump is using his own way, like ignoring like not like you know how like three powers, division of three powers and international rules and so on, and like Trump doesn't like it and he has his own way. And also he talks about Elon Musk too, that he's not elected, and all the talking points that you usually see by the left media. It's just listed, like all these things are listed. But what's interesting about this is that I do agree with this certain part about USAID actually. It does make sense for American conservatives, like because it has lots of frauds, like they're giving your money to stupid, like really stupid programs, even overseas. It's ridiculous, and I do think that you should cut it too. But he does make a point here that like closing USAID and firing everybody, like Musk said that, but this means to eliminate the soft power of America's crucial, to eliminate the crucial Americans' soft power. And China and Russia are very happy about this. And USAID was established in the Congress, not by president. So without the new decision of the Congress, you can't close it and blah 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 blah. Of course, like he has his stance, so like I'm not buying everything, but like at least like looking from another country, there are some downs. Like everything has like good bright side and bad side. So, but yeah, like that's something that I'm not saying like I fully side with all the things on the newspaper. I'm saying that these are the things that are discussed in Japan right now. Japan, the ally. Like we love America, we love Trump, but still like we are like people are cautious of how Trump is doing. So it's good. It's good for like Trump supporters, I bet. Like as a counterpart, like we have to think about how to make our move about it. I think Europe needs to increase its defense spending a lot. I agree. Without escalating war a lot, Ukraine isn't going to get its land back. We probably should do a peace deal now because of this. Yeah, I totally agree. Like I've talked, I participate, like I've spoken at this international forum called Free Nations of Post-Russia Forum, where like representatives for 41 nation states gather to claim their rights to get away from, like, get out of the colonization of Russia. So in Japan, of course, like we have issues with Russia, as I said, like we have territorial issues. So I've spoken there, but and they when it was held in Taiwan last September, I went there, I spoke, and there was the former foreign minister of Poland. Poland increased their defense budgets to 5% of GDP. And we were like, my husband and I, we were like, how did you do it? Right? Like, that's like, Japan is still like at the 1% and we are struggling. And they're like 5%. Like, how did you do it? And she was like, it's just a determination, determination. I think she said that, if I remember correctly. Like, they just decided, like, they can do it. And if Poland can do it, other countries should be able to do it, right? And I just think that European countries just they don't get it. Like, they're not, it's about them. And they're not fully engaged, I feel, which reminds me of my Hong Konger friend in Hong Kong, who was, what's the word? Provoke. I forget the word. Someone was claiming, like he said that Hong Kong should be independent from China, right? Like, because it's basically colonized. It was back, and he was active until like 2019, 2022. He came to Japan in 2020, right? But anyway, I no longer talk to him. But he was saying before that in order for Hong Kong to get independent, he was saying that the world needs to sanction Hong Kong to survive. Like, it's a temporary pain, but they will live through it somehow, because it's a short, like some temporary thing, and it's not gonna last forever. And in order to choke China, like Hong Kong was like a backdoor to China. So he was saying, like, just sanction us. Like, that's a wild statement, but he firmly believed it. And I'm like, what about Europe? Like, they don't, like, what are they doing, I'm like, like, it's better to just start a war against Russia. Just boost your defense budget and engage now so that you can, do something about it. Speaking of which, there was this article. I haven't really read it, but this is about Germany. The first party, the main party being replaced or something like that. So I have no idea about Germany, so I have to read it later. Like, in order to read this, I need to use my brain fully. So I didn't read it. Over here, though, oh yeah, this is the one. Vance criticized Europe like at full, and against social media and democracy. He showed his own way of thinking. Mülheim. Oh yeah, Mülheim. So that's why it's a symbolic place, right? So people are talking about, like, don't be a Chamberlain. Chamberlain is the appeasement, the guy of appeasement. Gosh, I need to learn history. Let's see. Let's look at your comments. One time I had one of these bean-filled pancakes with Dramon on it. Oh, dorayaki? Yeah, the sandwich, right? Pancake, but it's like a sandwich and sweet beans in between, which Doraemon likes it. I'm dying 1 a.m. Oh no! Yoko number one, yes. Robert Paxton's Anatomy of Fascism is a good reference. Ooh, interesting. Robert Paxton. Trump isn't violating separation of powers. He's actually being very legally disciplined. Congress has been super lazy with reconciliation bills and grants cancelled. If the national interest changes, oh, I see. Next year I'm going back to Nippon. Cool, especially Hokkaido. Wow, I have never been to Hokkaido. I need to visit Hokkaido and Okinawa. Both are in danger, right? Like in Hokkaido, right above it is the the northern territories, which Russia is illegally occupying Hokkaido. I want to go to Hokkaido, and also Okinawa. Is so north side Russia is coming in, the southern side China is coming in, so around our Senkaku Islands, it's in the south, and the waters around the Senkaku Islands, our own unique territories. But China always comes around in the waters to claim, like, oh, we are here, it's ours. Your recording volume is way too low? Really? You mean the microphone? That's odd. Weak men make hard times, strong men make good times. Exactly. Are there any discussions in Japan about asking Americans to monitor and perhaps diplomatic actions regarding the dozens of Russia bases that have been built in Kuril Islands? No, we are not discussing anything anything about uh, northern territories, which is ridiculous. It's like Japanese people are kind of like a, if you look at it in a bad way, I guess the majority are like kind of like social justice warriors in a way, if you know what I mean. Like they care, they care. The majority of Japanese people are good-hearted people, but they don't have a good understanding of politics. So they just side with whatever, like whoever victims that they see. So they're not, I don't think that they can connect the dots between like those what Ukrainian people are going through with our own problem. They just see the victims in Ukraine, and people don't realize that we are involved with in in this problem with Russia, if you know what I mean. Mm. Poland is the only European nation without illegal immigration issues, if I am correct. Oh, if I was watching what my husband was watching yesterday, and he was watching this like a cram school kind of teacher's history class on YouTube, basically a lecture about world history, and the guy was talking about Poland's history, like back in the day when, from the west side, the Germany would come attack Poland, and on the other side, the Mongolian Empire would come in. Like they're in the middle, and they're like, attack from both sides. It's so unfortunate, like how we're like geography, man. It's the geography, and South Korea is similar to that. Like South Korea is like Russia, China, Japan. They're in the middle, and so they always goes to the like a stronger side, because they don't wanna. I guess they don't wanna have casualties or something. Howdy, Yoko and husband. Howdy, Chai. Howdy. Japan can help Zelensky by handing over all of its money and gold reserves to Zelensky. Yeah, Japan is like investing in Ukraine like so much money, so much like a lot of A's on many different kinds. You can easily Google it. I forgot the Japanese snack name. What if we just move Japan closer to Europe and the US? No, but no, like as I was, learning about the like history, the backgrounds of where we are today, I realized like again that how difficult it is to live on a land nation. Like Japan is surrounded by the oceans. So we're really blessed, right? The oceans, of course, like we have to patrol the oceans, but still like it's way better than connected to the next country, the next country, right? So but China though, like this newspaper says the news here too that this article is talking about uh, over there in the sky of above the South China Sea, China dropped this. What do you call that in English? Like a bright, bright thing. I don't know how to call it. 照明灯。照明。Wait. 照明灯。Illuminating flare. Illuminating flare. So China dropped that near the Australian, I guess, fighter jet? Some aircraft. Not fighter jet. It's P-8A. So they were patrolling over the like above the South China Sea, and China did that. I don't know why it's like though. Is it like really bright? Elon's baby. Did you guys see that post by what's her name? St. Clair. What's the first name? Something St. Clair. I was so surprised by her post. Usually, like when I, not usually, like a lot of the times when I follow people on X, I don't even care who they are. Like sometimes I follow, like congressmen or Fox News anchors or journalists and so on, or some expert. But other times, like I just follow random people that I find interesting, and I don't even read the biography or looking into the like who they are and so on. So I have no idea who they are. I happened to be following her, this woman that allegedly gave birth to Elon Musk's baby like 5 months ago. I'm like, oh, what is happening? Anyway, I asked a reserve general what did the Japanese pay for us, US, to be there. He said a lot. I asked how much we pay. He said a lot also, yeah. He then said the Japanese businessmen would hate for the US to leave. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, historically speaking, it's like Japan is a weird place when it comes to having US bases here. Like historically speaking, America just occupied Japan for 7 or 8 years, right after World War II, and they have all the bases here, and it's just remaining. Like we, America is just still there as a continuation of that. And of course, right after the war, Japan won, like, didn't matter if you were on the right side or left side. Like, we had a negative view about it because it's just a byproduct of losing a war, right? Um, but then communism was spreading into Asia, and we had to fight that, you know, with cooperating with America, and uh, and then China grew, and they became expansionist. So we had to we have to cooperate again, and it's naturally, I guess, that of course, like Japan and U.S., like we are working. We have worked mutually to make our relations better, but at the same time, China became our common enemy. So Japan do pay for America, and America wants more though, because I guess it's weird. Like I said, like it's, if you consider the historical background, it's weird that we pay, but now our demand has shifted because of the like recent threats from China. So like it does meet our national interests for the U.S. to stay. So I think it's natural, and also it's something that we should, like, whatever it takes. Like without America's presence, Japan will be more vulnerable, and we have changed, or at least like we revised our national security documents during the last administration, and we are like, it's decided that we will contribute more, you know, like we will strengthen our national security, like strengthening our self-defense forces abilities and so on. But it's gonna take a while, you know, even just to develop some like fighter jet, for example. We are developing a fighter jet with the UK and Italy, but it's gonna take a while to develop that. Even though I like, we want it right away, but it takes time. And after we develop something, we have to, you know, train our pilots and so on. Like it's a long, like it's gonna take a while. But so in the meantime, we have to do everything we can for the US, just I guess, to stay, and also like make it more efficient, right? Because Japan does have forces, uh, so like our teamwork matters, and of course Japan is developing our technology. So I'm really hoping that more drones and that's, or hypersonic technology, or whatever advanced technology, I hope that we can implement that more, you know. Yeah. What is your opinion regarding SoftBank's investment for 100 billion US dollars in the US? Is that part of or separate than the funds committed by the Japanese government? Yeah, it's private. It's totally private, I think. And the guy Masayoshi Son is not. He doesn't have good reputation here. And when Elon Musk pointed out that he doesn't have money, we are like, yeah, he see through. So yeah, uh, I think I talked about it when that happened in my live stream. Went into details. So if you can go back and check. Yep, 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 yep. Expensive to visit Japan? No, right now our yen is weak, though. Hope, do these rude people get to visit? No, of course, like you have to pay for plane tickets, but Japan is, I guess for especially if you come from like Western nations or even other countries, I guess it's said to be that oh, Japan is cheap right now. So many people like we are having tourists that wouldn't have been here before. We are witnessing like a new kind of people. And we're like, no, really like very low class come to. Yeah. He's got like 12 kids. Yeah, the 13th kids, right? Ashley. Yeah, Ashley. I mean, she's gorgeous though. She's so pretty. Like I don't it's like unfair, you know? Some western girls are like so gorgeous. I don't know how. Like why? Why God? She got mad at Elon's other lady was in the Oval Office. Oh no. Yeah, I did see the analysis that she was probably jealous. Like she had to claim that to, you know. It's a oh man, rich man. Rich people can do anything. Oh my gosh. But I did see some criticism from the conservative people, though, over how Elon Musk is behaving, because I guess that with the conservative values, you cherish the family values. So then what Elon is doing is that, of course, like he can take care of the kids financially because he's super rich, but his presence is not there. So is it good for the kids? And I can understand where the conservatives are coming from when it like some people that are complaining, but at the same time, Elon Musk is he's like a what is it called, like techno libertarian, right? So he wants to be free. So it's interesting that you know I guess it's just like a alliance basically, I guess. Well, Elon Musk is definitely not conservative, right? Just a business guy, and he's a free spirit, and because he's a free spirit, when it comes to like this free speech market and so on, it works fantastic, right? It's so great. Like I'm now on X a lot. I wasn't on X before. Like when it was Twitter, at first I was enjoying it, and then like gradually there were more and more rules, and also the push of like liberal posts were getting on my nerves. So I wasn't posting as much as I do now. Like I wasn't on Twitter much at all. I was rather on Facebook, but then Facebook got censored a lot too. And so I just had nowhere to go. So I was just doing regular political things like, supporting the political party here and so on. But now, Elon Musk made it better. So I am very, very thankful for him, though. Good morning. Good morning. Yoko, I was on X right now. I saw the video with one of the Japanese citizens dragging that gaijin to the police station. That gaijin? I wonder if it's the same video that I saw, though. But yeah. Why are they crazy? I don't know why some foreigners visiting here are like exclaiming, and like it looks to me like the there are people that have like that are here or have like a mental condition, or that they are on drugs or some sort. I don't know what's happening. I can't really judge with the videos, but It's really bizarre. If China were to invade Taiwan, do you think they would stop there or expand further? Definitely expand further. CCP executives and also Xi Jinping has claimed repeatedly to conquer the Pacific Ocean. The Pacific Ocean, according to CCP, China, is that vast enough for two countries to conquer. So US and China. They're so ready to take over Japan. So but right now though, financially, I mean economically, China is in trouble. You know, the population problem and also economically, they're having issues inside, and I bet that there are protests happening, but it's all censored, and they get oppressed easily, so it's not going big yet, but soon. If you choke them, I know that they will explode soon. So, yep. But China is a big country though now. And for example, Mongolia is has a good relationship with Japan, and there are sumo wrestlers. You know, the Japanese traditional sumo wrestlers. Some they're like Mongolian sumo wrestlers and so on too. And we have like culturally, like we look similar too, and we have like special bond. You know, but over Mongolia, CCP China is increasing their influence. And our friend, Mongolian friend, was arrested arbitrarily. I don't know that big word. Yeah, just maliciously arrested our friend, and they put him in prison for 10 years. He is in prison right now, but he was just advocating the freedom for Southern Mongolians, you know, those who are oppressed by China, like Mongolia, Southern Mongolia. And Southern Mongolia, what we call Southern Mongolia is what China is calling Inner Mongolia. So, but this guy we are friends with, like he's Mongolian in Mongolia, and the Mongolian authorities call him for China. Like it's like just imagine me. You know, I talk about China a lot in a critical way. What if our police caught me, arrested me for China, and put me in Japanese prison? That's messed up, right? But that happened in Mongolia. So that's symbolic, you know, how Chinese influence is growing in Mongolia. So they're powerful. China is powerful. And but if you look at if you look at the historical pattern though, like China is right now using economic slaves right now. Like they put Chinese and Uyghurs into concentration camps and you know force labor to them and so on to create like very cheap products and so on, for example, or even child labor too, right? Like all these things, but because they are exploiting right like that together with stealing intellectual properties instead of inventing things by their own, they never grow. They only know how to steal or use people well, they what they're good at is stealing and exploiting those technology or skills that they have. It's really advanced, like I don't think that my country would never be able to do things like that. But they can openly lie easily. They lie all the time diplomatically. On historical issues too, they fabricate all the time, and that's just, I guess that their culture is like, if you get deceived, that's on you. Like they think just differently from us. Uh, but because they do that, they never grow. And who's Lindy Lee, by the way? I saw about, is she a Democrat? I saw briefly about her, like some post about her. American commentator? This woman. She is it's interesting that she lied to people that she doesn't speak Chinese, but she actually speaks fluently, and she's influencing America. Just like that. In addition to that, just like told you before, China has police stations throughout the world. In Japan, there are 2 stations in Tokyo and here in Fukuoka. Maybe we'll watch. But yeah, they are influencing the world. By the way, it's been almost an hour. If no super chat, I have to go. I have to get the sunlight. Like my circadian, is it the word? Cycle is messed up, so I need to get the sunlight. Give me super chat and I might stay longer. Always wanted to go visit Japan, but now tourists probably have an awful reputation. But don't worry, the majority of visitors here are good people. Like sometimes I don't even notice foreigners sitting on a train and so on, because they are so like people have common sense, but those who that you see on social media, they're just crazy ones. And yeah, here in my prefecture called Fukuoka, in the southern island, Kyushu, I don't see many foreigners. Like I do see some Chinese and Koreans in the city, and sometimes like probably Indonesian or like some Islam type, and also Indian, and who else? Or sometimes white people too. I used to see more white people, but now I feel like white people are the minority. But I don't know. Maybe because other kinds increased. But yeah, either I can't even tell if they're tourists or just living here. But there are a lot of private universities here which get exchange students to sustain their business. So oftentimes, like there are like exchange students here in Japan. That's really, really bad. We have that locally too. I'm like, it's because of their business that there are more like more foreigners come here, and mostly they are good. Like it's a complicated situation. Like often, oh, super chat, thank you. I will get to that. Oftentimes, like it's like a half situation, that on one side you don't want foreigners, like too many foreigners, because you don't want troubles because of the cultural difference and so on. But on another side, what's important to think about is that those foreigners that live in Japan, some people do have like some people struggle, but other people enjoy living here. So when that happens, like, and if they like Japanese people, then they become our allies. And some of them stay here, others go back. But either way, they become our friends, our ally. So when historical disputes or territorial disputes happen, they side with us. And politically speaking, it's really such a great investment. So, yeah. Shubacha, thank you so much. When I was in Japan last week, oh, you were here last week. I saw families everywhere with two or even three children. Do you see birth rates increasing? I don't act like a tourist. That's cool that you were here. Where did you go in Japan? But yeah, that's exactly how I feel when I'm in the city. Like I see little children or babies all the time. I'm like, birth rate decline, like really? But I think that uh, the thing about it is that the regional difference, like we have a gap regionally. Where our prime minister is from, Tottori Prefecture, I don't think the people actually live there anymore. Like, of course, like it's kind of offensive to say that, but like there are some like my prefecture has Fukuoka City, the biggest city in my prefecture, Fukuoka City. The population is growing, always growing, like more and more people, and so the city area is like expanding to where I live. Like I live in the south, a little bit south, but then it's like I feel like the city part is like invading us. Like it used to be just houses around, and now like it's more developed. I feel so like that's what's happening, and so when that happens, like new things, more development, more like better infrastructure and so on. Like people come live, right? But on the other hand, like countryside, people don't want to go there. Like no jobs, no good-looking women, and that sort of things. Like what I mean by that is like youthful women go to the cities for jobs and so on, or maybe because they are just younger and they want to experience other things than the countryside. So that's why they struggle. Like all this, like the countryside has a vicious cycle, and then there are lots of vacant houses where some foreigners, like influencers, you know, agitate, not agitating, like promoting the false information, like, oh, buy Japan's house or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, I'm not gonna, you know, sympathize if they get affected by earthquakes. Like all the houses they don't have like a good criteria for strong enough houses for earthquakes. So I really recommend not to live in one. But yeah, it's really we need to. It's just like I think that it's about like the local policies, and also economy. Seriously, economy. Like people, like when I say that, people want to read way deeper than what I'm talking about. But humans are simple, and it's our problem is largely because of economy. At least, like we need to get rid of that problem so that we can actually dive into the real problem. Which is happening culturally, not only in Japan but in other developed countries. Thank you so much for your super chat. You should do daily videos instead of weekly. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I don't have topics much at all. I don't know what to talk about. Like, it's easy to complain about things, you know? Like, uh, what I see, the tendencies that I see on social media, especially in like a political circle, is that if people complain or point fingers at others or at some problem, like, oh, this is a huge problem, rah, or like, oh, this person is this and that, blah, and that sort of like negative power gets views, gets a lot of likes, gets a lot of money. But I'm a solution oriented person, and also I want to just share like like food for thoughts, basically. Like I talk about American news from my perspective, for example, because I believe that it will widen your eyes, you know. And I like that about other countries. Like when other people in other countries talk about Japan, I'm like, oh, that's how you see it, you know. Like it's interesting, often. So that's what I'm doing. But so it's easy to make content like that. But when it comes to like proactive or positive content, it's I don't know where the line is. It's difficult to come out with that. So that's why. Like I just need creativity, I guess. But if you have any topic that you want me to talk about, let me know. uh, yeah. And I'm not very active either. Like I'm usually stuck home. So I used to like when I began my YouTube journey, I was first posting music covers. I wanted to make a living as a musician before. I'm good at piano, you know, so that's why I was doing that. And then I got fascinated by daily vlogs, and I was one of the early ones, so I was trying it out. But then the editing back then, like today, it's so easy to edit. So like I'm jealous of people today, but I'm like I just did everything manually back in the day for years, and probably I did that like for a decade or so, I think. And then, but YouTube was not as big as today. And so, like, I was too early and I got tired, you know, exhausted. And yeah, that's why I just live stream. Are there many African foreigners? Maybe in Tokyo and Osaka? In Tokyo, there are sometimes like suspicious people, you know, that like African looking, and I feel like they could be drug dealers, but I don't know. Like I'm too scared, so I'm like I'll just walk fast to pass them by. But I only remember one case like that, like really scared moment. But that's about it. But I think that it's just it has some regions probably there's some, but I don't think the ratio. If you look at the ratio, um, the majority of foreigners here are Chinese, Korean, or Vietnamese, or Brazilians, and so on, or Indians, or or Indonesians. So not like who you have as immigrants in Western nations. Oh, super chat! Thank you. Keep fighting. Yes. Thank you always for your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Super chat. Thank you, Lefty Lucid. Correction to last week's Yoko tax. Banana no nazo wa mada nano. I can't even say it. Banana no nazo wa mada nazo nano da zo. 難しいな。How fast can you say it? バババナナの謎はまだ謎なの謎。Yes! 言える My husband is home now. バナナの謎はまだ謎なのだぞ is hard to say. Man, somebody probably has to type it out in English because the majority of people here right now have no idea what I'm saying. The mystery of banana is still a mystery. バナナの謎はまだ謎なのだぞ。まだ謎なの。That's the best I can do. Oh, you're going to sleep. Good day, Yoko. Good night. Oh, ciao. Oh, have a good night. ANA or JAL? I like ANA. Anna. ANA, JAL, JAL, JAL. They are having accidents way too much recently. But I feel like JAL has like bigger planes. I don't know. I always ride on a very cheap one, because that's what you gotta do to cut the cost. Yeah. But ANA though is kind of having negative view now because they focus on Instagram, for example. I think they are on Instagram or TikTok. I don't know which one, but like they're often dancing and so on, and that's not something that we want to see, right? Like from airplane company, you want to feel secure and safe and not cute or something like that, or youthful and so on. Like we don't want that. Like we just want security, right? And yeah, horrible food, really. Yeah, food is important. Tokyo and Osaka, yeah, I think so. My nose is itchy. Uh, been there 7 times. Each time I saw more tourists. Yeah. Also depends on where you go. Yeah, exactly. It's like sightseeing places, of course. Like there are lots of tourists. But if you go to other places, then they don't have English signs and so on. People don't speak English, so you wanna have a hard time unless you speak good Japanese. So yeah. The thing about tourists, though, is because our economy is bad. What happens when our economy is bad is that one, the people in the economic field, they want to use foreign labor. Another thing that happens is that people, I mean, political field wants to push tourism to gain money. Chinese, for example, they have money now. Like rich people, like the economic gap is huge in China, but rich people in China are extremely rich, right? So they fly here, buy our stuff, go back and repeat. So like they are uneasy. It's like a drug basically. Like if you want to feel good, if you want to, you know, want something temporarily, China will work well for you. But in the long term, it's gonna poison you, you know? So now we have less Chinese tourists though. Still the premise I guess is big though, but yeah. Oh Sebacha, thank you. How much you get you to dye your hair green? That's like I don't know, as much as the number that I was saying in the newspaper. Billions of yen. I never want to dye my hair green. That's so awful. No. Purple or red, I could easily, but green, green and blue are something, the colors that I would never dye my hair for. I don't know why it is. Maybe because I just associate that with liberals. Flew to ANA twice between Tokyo and Osaka. Cool. Farther from the city center, the less English. Yeah. Unless you find somebody like me. Sometimes there are some like Japanese people that speak English though. Where can I go to meet Japanese people to practice my Japanese? Oh, that's a difficult question. You just have to go online, I guess. We used to have like a good website to find like speaking partners. Man, my university had a program, like officially it was called a speaking partner. And people had to apply for that in university. Uh, But yeah, it's I guess it's hard to find people like if you just talk to people, to find somebody that is looking into practicing English. Oh, but you know what? My husband. Maybe you should practice with my husband. Can you speak English? He's like, yes, of course. Oh, super chat. Oh, your first super chat. Yay. Thank you so much. Bomb killer. 007. 007. Thank you so much. Yay. That makes me happy. Green hair Yoko is best Yoko. No. Why? Green and blue are lefty hair colors, right? Like I don't vibe with those colors. Like nothing against those colors in general, but like hair, like it doesn't look good in my opinion. It's just unhealthy. But purple or red are attractive or orange, like I get it. It's cool. I guess because liberals want to deny being human or deny being healthy, right? I used to be depressed before, as I told you before, probably. When I was depressed, I still remember hating the fact that I am human. Like, I was so depressed that I just didn't like humanity in general. I thought human is so bad, 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 bad. And I didn't like anything that reminded me of being human. So I didn't like hair, except for this like hair on my head. And other than that, my body hair, like I had to shave it off everything, and I wanted to be plastic. I didn't want to have eyebrows, so I just had like thin, very very thin line, and that's it. And if anything grows, I'm like, no, shave it off, and that sort of things. And I just didn't. I bleh. I was like bleh. So probably that's why liberals are like that too. Like they have some mental issues often. Not all of them. Like I do work with liberal people too, when it comes to human rights issues caused by China and Russia. And those people are just moderate left liberals, that have common sense but just think differently from me. And those people are usually like normal, you know. But those like very radical leftists tend to just change everything, like God or whatever superpower created us, right? And we have this perfect form, and we have this perfect cycle and everything. And but leftists often want to control they want to control everything. They want to change their body depending on their way of thinking. They want to change their identity, their gender, appearance, even the hair color. And it's like they just can't accept the beautiful thing right in front of them. So yeah, they used to have conversation cafes. Cool. Oh, super chat, thank you. Proper works too. By the way, I'm Zentora Dijin, so naturally have green hair. Why? What is that? Are you like Piccolo? Zendora. What is that? Zendora. I don't. I don't have any hits. Oh, Zendoradi? Is it like anime? I don't know. I'm so lost. Japanese people call green traffic lights owl or blue. Yeah. You guys say green lights. Red light, green light. Red light, green light. Do you know Limp Bizkit, Limp Bizkit song? But yeah. We call it blue. Do we call it green? 青信号だよね。青だよね。信号。My husband is not reacting at all. My husband sometimes just not here with me sometimes. He doesn't respond. He's like, he's there, but he's in a different dimension sometimes. Midori is green, yes. I'm mildly mentally ill is what I am. Oh, I see. I see. I mean, we all get that phase. Oh, super chat, thank you. Armads, thank you. Yeah. Weekly chat is good, even being 1 a.m. here. Are you guys night owls? Because I am. I think I'm like from when I was little, I just woke up late, you know? Like I wasn't good in the morning. I'm just born that way. Ah! Dropped it. Anything else? Oh, this one was interesting about... Do you see the picture? Can you tell what it's about? This is about manipulating climate. Because the global warming, you know. Man. Global warming is something that creates division in discourse too. So I can't really talk about I shouldn't really talk about it, but Oh, Subacha, thank you. 4月日本に行きます? Oh, that's cool. いいですね。桜ですね。花見しますか? Are you gonna do hanami in Japan? Wait, does Japan have owls? Yeah. There are a lot. They are in a lot of stories worldwide. Yeah, of course we have animals. I grew up with a knitted owl at home. I guess my mom liked it. Yeah. But yeah, global warming, man. I was just thinking the other day that because I was like when I'm a summer person, you know, like I was born in summer, like in the middle of summer in August. So I'm such a summer person, and so winter is really tough, you know. Like especially after I hit, I think the 30 years old or so. Like I realized like I'm having issues in winter. Like every year, I'm like I'm gonna die. Every year, I'm like I'm gonna die. I don't know if I can survive this winter. I have a heater and everything, but I'm like my body is not keeping up very well. Especially because like it goes back and forth between like really warm and cold and so on, so my body can adjust. And so this is interesting though. This is talking about like developing some technology to make the earth colder because of global warming. But then there are like what is that? I forget that term. 副作用ってなんだっけ? 副作用 side effects, yeah. Side effects is concerning. So that's why they're still, I don't know, like they're testing things and so on. But I'm like, I want it to get a little warmer though, because even though if it gets warmer, the foods will be different, so that's not good. But uh, I just can't live in winter. Oh, super chat! First super chat, thank you so much, Ian. Thank you. Oh, I used to have a friend named Ian. I wonder what he's up to. Is he still here? I had a lot of foreign friends in like locally, like here in my prefecture. Like I mean, I studied in Osaka, so I have friends there, and those were exchange students, and then went back and when I moved back here in Fukuoka, I made friends using the internet. Like there was some like online space that I could apply to meet with people and so on. So I made a lot of local like foreigner friends. But when I got interested in politics back in 2012, it turned out that the vast majority, like almost everybody that I was friends with, were liberals. So I lost all my friends. So I don't have foreigner friends anymore, Even the guy that I was dating around that time, he was liberal, so like we would argue. Like I mean, at the time he was already gone back to his country. I was gonna follow him, but no, it didn't happen because I'm like I have a lot of things to do here, so I didn't follow him. But yeah, August 17th. Oh, cool. So you are 獅子座ってなんだ? I don't know what it's called in English. 獅子座. Leo. You're Leo. I'm a Virgo. I've told you before, but I was born in the same month, like exactly the same month of the same year as Ramaswamy. I have a strong attachment to him because of that. I think Stephen Miller has the same birthday as me, I think. I don't know. I can't. Yeah. Oh, wait, exactly the same. Yeah. That's so weird. That's so weird. Like being born on the same exact day is interesting. I'll be more scared of an ice age than warming. Yeah, right? But as for Japan though, like our plants are changing. Like Japan is known for like separate 4 seasons, right? Like just like the majority of the countries in the world, so, but and also our country is humid, right? And we have what you call man, I have to learn a lot of words. Moss, moss. So Japan, when we have like gardens, Japanese style gardens, there are often like there are huge rock and over it there are moss, covered with moss and so on. But because of the strong like high heat, they can't grow anymore in some areas like Kyoto, for example. Like or maybe I don't exactly remember where it was. It was at some kind of museum, I think. Like they were known for beautiful moss, but because of the heat in the summer, um, it it dies. So now, what we were enjoying before is changing. But what's getting gone is gone, and we want to of course conserve, but other things is that we will get other plants and foods, I guess. Bonsai tree, yeah. Gotta bail out. Family business. Ooh, good luck with that. Thanks for coming and for your super chat. Thank you, thank you. $1 for you. I might go to bed soon, but I don't know. Ooh, you should stay. But yeah. Anyway, should I talk about more politics or I don't know. It's been 19 minutes. Oh, it's 4. You see the clock. Should I focus on learning kanji vocabulary or grammar? Grammar. Definitely grammar. Grammar, vocabulary, and kanji, I think. Like, grammar is like a bone. So without the bone structure, you can't have leaves or fruits. When I studied English, I just mastered the like a junior high school level, where I was in, my level of English grammar. Like I completed the studies of that, made sure of that, like making sure that there's nothing that I don't know. Yep. And then vocabulary is something that I'm still looking up, as you can see. I'm learning, and kanji is we're just studying though. I mean, yeah, Japanese people have to learn kanji as well throughout our life. There are many kanjis that I don't even know yet. It's always a learning process. But if you understand the basic kanji though, then other kanjis are easier to read. It's 11. Talk about anything. Cool. わかった。ありがとう、先生。どういたしまして。I wish Shinzo was here. May he find peace in God's kingdom. Yeah, thank you for your thoughtful words. Yeah. I mean, if Shinzo Abe was still here, I think that we will have a different, of course, like we will have a different dynamics here in Japan. I don't think that our current prime minister would have become our prime minister if Shinzo Abe was still here. Yeah. Well, US Steel, though, might have some problems. Like, Ishiba, our prime minister, made sure, or he rather, it's been coming to the light that Prime Minister Ishiba was supposed to say, like, just look at US Steel as like investment-ish thing, It's not complete acquisition, but it's like investment, that's the nuance that he was supposed to have, but he just said it in black and white, like, oh, it's an investment. And Trump was like, oh yeah, that's a good idea, right? Of course. But that's not the case. So there are some confusions. There's Trump senpai here. Yeah. I don't know why his hair looks so white. I don't know why. Probably the lighting. But it's about US Steel. So he's denying the idea of Nippon Steel acquisition and so on. Yeah. Man, this is so complicating. It's because of Biden, though, in my opinion, because he politicized this. Just because Trump said it. Like, Biden shouldn't have jumped on it. When studying Japanese, honorific morphemes so difficult are very important, very different from English, but very important for making conversation rhythmic with the Japanese context. What is that? That's such a big word. 敬語 more 敬語系体操敬語のこと honorific cool yes that's so true just be polite I really recommend that you speak politely in Japanese that's what I do like even when I talk to those who are younger than me if I don't know them well then I use keigo like I speak in a polite way because I didn't like it when I was younger like whenever like older people would speak to me just like they're friends with me I'm like please you know but in English though I'm very friendly but in Japanese I'm like boundaries you know my hometown listens to the media way too much and sometimes I feel like it shouldn't be a part of America really that bad they're calling it investment here also not an acquisition yeah that's good though but Trump I'm not sure what Trump is gonna think but Trump's standpoint is very difficult I think like he has to the US president has to look at the entire world right like and you have to think about your domestic politics you have a lot on your plate and I bet that it's really really difficult to you know do that job so I'm really like I don't know how he does it like he is old you know like if you think about it objectively but he does somehow does it such a powerful grandpa honorific morphemes are the endings to words which delineate the relationship between the speaker and the listener. Yeah. Stranger danger. Yes. Okay, anyway. I don't see super chat. I think I should go. You guys are probably getting tired. So, yeah. Anything else to add? なんかあるかね? I'm like, is there anything to talk about? I said, and my husband is like, nope. Oh, how was your Valentine? I hope you guys had a good Valentine's Day. And I hope that you are gonna rest well. Please let me sleep. Yes, I should let you guys sleep. Thank you. No, thank you for hanging out with me. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really appreciate your company. Yes. Oh. Yep, yep, yep. I'll be posting on X, so make sure to follow me, okay? Thank you so much for joining me, you know. Like I know that there are people watching this without commenting, but I see you. So thank you. I really appreciate every single one of you. Thank you. Let's talk again next week, okay? I feel like I wasn't prepared enough today, but hopefully next week there will be more news to cover. Yep. I was gonna say happy Valentine's Day. Thank you. Still here, Fab. Thank you. Thank you, thank you. Okay, have a good day or good night then. Let's meet again next week. And thank you so much for those who gave me super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. I can live. Okay, bye. Good night. Or have a good day. Bye.